Hello everyone, this question is about complex numbers. Solve the equation in the Cartesian form. X plus iy form. So first of all, you see z and z star here. So the z, if the z is say x plus yi, the z star is minus yi. So this is called the complex conjugate. So it's exactly the same, but instead of plus we use minus here. Okay, so now we replace the z with x plus yi and the z star with x minus yi. So now it's just a lot of algebra here. Okay, so 5 times x, 5x, 5 times yi, 5yi, and here we multiply x times x squared, x times minus yi minus xyi, yi times x plus xyi, yi times minus yi minus y squared I squared. And if we're doing it right, they will cancel out actually. So we have the difference of two squares actually. So the next step is to we don't want this I at the in the denominator, so we multiply both parts of this fraction by the conjugate of this denominator. So it's exactly the same, but instead of plus we use minus. Okay, the conjugate of the denominator on both parts. And now we can also open up the brackets, minus times x squared and minus times y squared. Okay, and in case you are wondering why is it just y squared now, well, because I squared is actually minus 1. So this means we have minus 1 times minus, so we have plus y squared. So now we multiply 1 times 5x, 5x, 1 times 5yi, 5yi, minus 2 times 5x, minus 10 I x or xi, minus 2i times 5yi minus 10 yi squared. And in the denominator, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times plus 2i plus 2i, minus 2i times 1 minus 2i, minus 2i times 2i, minus 4i squared. And again, they should cancel out, difference of two squares. And now we have only, this is I squared, which is minus 1, so minus times minus is plus, and 1 plus 4 is of course 5, which means we can divide everything by 5. 5x divided by 5, we get x, divided by 5, we get this, divided by 5, divided by 5. So now we regroup the real and the imaginary part. So the real part is the ones without I. So without I we have x, 2y, minus x squared minus y squared plus 30. So that's what we get from the real part. And for the part with I, so the imaginary part, yi minus 2xi plus 10i. So this is what we get. We can pull out the I, and 0 is actually the same as 0 plus 0i. So now we compare the real part and imaginary part. For the real part we have this equals 0, and imaginary part this equals 0. So we have to substitute to solve for x and y. So from this equals 0 we can just make y equals something here, substitute y. So we replace this y and this y with 2x minus 10. So now 2 times 2x 4x, 2 times minus 10 minus 20, and this is a minus b all squared, so a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And we can open up the brackets, minus times this, minus times this, minus times this, and now we simplify the x squared term, minus x squared minus 4x squared, we get this. For the x term, we have 5x plus 40x, 45x, and minus 20 minus 100 minus 120 plus 30 minus 90. Okay, now we divide both parts of the equation by minus 5. So divide by minus 5, minus 5, minus 5, divide by minus 5, and then we factorize. So 18 can be minus 3 times minus 6. So after factorizing, we have two possible values of x. X minus 3 equals 3, x minus 6 equals, x minus 3 equals 0, or x minus 6 equals 0, which means x can be 3 or 6. To find the y, we plug into the 2x minus 10 again. If the x is 3, the y is minus 4. If the x is 6, the y is 2. So in conclusion, we have two solutions. If the x is 3 and the y is minus 4, this is the z, or for 6, 2, this is what we get. So we have two possible solutions, two possible values of x and y. Alright, I'll see you again next time.